Hey sis! I just wanted to say congratulations! I heard from Dad that you got engaged.
Thanks, Abby.
I mean, who would have thought that you were ever getting engaged? Wow, I guess there are really people in this world with odd preferences. Who on earth would actively choose an ugly person as their wife?
Haha, very funny.
Are you sure this isn't some type of fraud? We both know that no one in their right mind would try to date a nerd like you, who doesn't even do her nails. Neither did I think you had any interest in men. You seem like the type to be reading instead of going on dates.
You went out of your way and messaged me just to say that? Is it so much to ask for a sincere congratulations from you?
You're getting congratulated plenty enough by Dad and the rest of our family. Someone needs to show you your place. Ever since we were little, you were the smart one. You went to a good college, and you got to work at a great company. And now you get to have a happy marriage? You're the daughter of our parents' dreams. Really? I hope you're enjoying kissing their feet like this.
Really, Abby?
Can you really imagine how it's like to be the younger sister of such a prodigy? Mom and Dad are probably gonna start comparing me to you again. And they'll start asking me when I'm gonna get married. I'm tired of hearing the line, "Just learn from your sister." Why do you keep torturing me like this? Just seeing you carry your life with such ease makes me want to puke.
Mom and Dad are just worried about you, and that's why they say all of those things. You know, that they just want the best for you. And if you don't want them saying those things for you, then I suggest that you try and getting an actual job for once.
What did you just say to me?
I heard about everything from Dad. You got fired from your part-time job in 3 days again, right? You've been doing this over and over again, ever since you graduated from high school. Why wouldn't Mom and Dad be worried for you?
Shut up! I only got fired because my hard-headed boss wouldn't let it slide when I was 3 hours late. He's the one who needs to learn how to forgive people. But guess what? Mom and Dad just get angry at me for it. You'd never understand how I feel. Always getting praised for every single step you take.
Abby.
Don't expect everything to keep going your way, because I know for a fact that things between you and me are going to even out. I'll make sure that they do.
Hey, Jess. Do you have a minute? I have something really important that I need to tell you.
Hey, honey. What's up?
I'm sorry about this being so sudden, but I need you to break up with me. I can't get married to you. I'm sorry.
What do you mean you can't get married with me? Is this a prank or something?
What have I ever done to make you regret proposing to me?
Nothing. You're an absolutely amazing person, Jess. And I'm grateful for all the time that I got to spend together with you. But I found someone that I just know is the person for me.
Who?
I don't want you to freak out, but it's actually Abby. I decided that I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And if you care for me, then you'd want the best for me, right?
What? Abby? Like my sister? What? You just met someone else with the same name, right?
No, I'm talking about your younger sister. We started dating last week.
You were cheating on me?
Well, yeah. I've always thought of her as your cute little sister, but I started to see her as another type of cute, and my feelings started to shift towards her. That's when she hit me up and we started talking through text. She seemed really enthusiastic with getting to know me, and one thing led to another, and I couldn't keep lying to myself. I'm sorry.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. You cheated on me while you were still engaged with me. And of all people, with my little sister? And now you want to cancel our engagement and to get married with her? Are you insane?
I ask that to myself every night, but I can't control my feelings. And my feelings are telling me that I love Abby more than I love you. Do you really want to get married with someone like that? Ever since I started developing feelings for Abby, I can't stand being in the same room with you. I feel like I'm about to suffocate. I think that us splitting and you finding a new partner while I marry the person I love is the best choice for all of us. To be completely honest with you, I've been having my doubts about this marriage for a while. I like you, and I think that you're an earnest, respectable woman, but you just gotta raise again, right? I don't know. I just feel like I'm less valuable when I'm with you. It just isn't as enjoyable as being with someone who I can feel like I'm protecting.
What does me getting a raise have anything to do with your value as a person? You are the one who's been cheering me for the past few years. And my hard work pays off and I get raises. And you suddenly feel less valuable? You should have just told me if you felt that way.
I have my pride. I can't just tell you how I feel. We just didn't click in that sense. Abby is the type who can't do anything by herself. And I feel like I'm the type of person to thrive more when supporting someone like that.
I don't get it. It just seems to me that all you're thinking about is yourself. You support me whenever you feel like it, but you get hurt for no reason after my hard work pays off. And now you cheat on me because you felt like it? I can't believe you. Whatever. Let's split then. I wouldn't want to marry a man who gets hurt and starts cheating because his wife got a raise anyways.
Alright. I guess you're gonna be my sister-in-law from now on then.
Huh? Wait, you still think you can marry my sister?
What? Why not? Nothing's changed from when I was about to marry you.
You're the man who's trying to switch from me to my sister right before the wedding. Do you really think my parents are going to accept you as their son-in-law?
I mean, that doesn't change the fact that their precious daughter is getting married, right? Besides, they've been eager to see either one of you get married, so I'm sure they'll understand the circumstances and allow this to happen.
We'll see about that.
I hope we can put this in the past and support each other as siblings-in-law. This really is a dream come true, being able to marry into a wealthy household like yours with the wife of my dreams. If anything happens, I'm counting on you, sis.
What do you mean by wealthy? My parents are both office workers at ordinary companies.
That's the biggest understatement I heard all year. Have you seen the house they live in? A pair of office workers wouldn't be able to afford that kind of house. I was shook when I first saw it when I came over to say hi to your parents. I expected to see a house and you took me to a castle. Why didn't you ever tell me that you were so rich?
I think there's a misunderstanding here. That house.
Oh yeah, me and Abby are thinking of living in that castle after we get married.
What?
I mean, you see it once in a while, right? Where the married couple moves back in, lives together with their parents. We're thinking of doing that. So when that happens, we're gonna have to ask you to find your own place. I really don't think Abby would like me to be living under the same roof as my ex-girlfriend, you know?
I'm done listening to your stupid favors, Dan. Why do I need to move out so that you two can move in? That makes no sense.
Really, Jess? Two of the people who you care about the most are wanting to move in. Do you really have a choice? Besides, I'm gonna be the only male in this generation for the Stevens family. As the leader of the family, you're gonna need me at the headquarters, you know?
This is so stupid.
Say what you want, but that's just how it's gonna have to be. Abby and I will take good care of the house and your parents, so don't worry. This is the best way for our whole family to thrive.
I built that house, Dan.
What?
You think you're going to be the leader of the house when you get married with Abby? Well, if you're going to want to be the leader of that house, then I'm gonna need you to buy it off of me. Then you'll truly be the leader of that house.
I'm not really getting what you're saying. What do you mean you built that house?
I mean, it's just the way it sounds. I built that house with the money I earned myself.
What?
I did think that it was odd that you decided to make such a risky choice. Cheating on me and trying to marry my own sister? But I get it now. You thought that you would get everything that our family had to offer. Wow. Just wow. All of the love that I built up for you over these years just flushed out like nothing. Thank God
You cheated on me. I was about to make the worst mistake of my life, marrying you.
It still does not make any sense, no matter how much I think about it. You built that house with your money. It would take centuries to save up enough to build a house like that. You're lying to try and keep me and Abby from moving in, aren't you?
You really think I'm lying?
Yeah. We're not talking about some big house in the neighborhood. That was a mansion. It would take a few $1,000,000 at the least to build that kind of house. No matter how many raises you're getting, it doesn't add up. You're really trying to tell me that you've been a millionaire all this time?
Yes, I am. I own a patent.
A patent?
Yes, one that I earned during the summer break of 7th grade. I was listing ideas about the kinds of stationery goods that I thought would be a good concept in my notebook. And my parents said that it might be a good idea to get a patent for them. So that's what I did.
Are patents something you can just get when you feel like it?
I mean, it was a lot of work. But my parents were weirdly committed at the time. So we got through. And a stationery goods maker saw my designs and offered me a contract. Lo and behold, now I'm making a very good amount of money off of that contract.
What?
Right now, I have income from both my day job and a contract that I made with my client. So I was able to save up millions. After a while, I decided to build a mansion for myself and my parents. And here I am. This is all thanks to my parents who let me pursue my random passion and took it serious enough to get a patent for me. So I wanted to give back to them, like any normal person would.
Wait. So that huge house is actually owned by you?
Yes.
So even if I marry into your family and become the man of the house, I'll still never own the house.
Exactly. Not that I'm ever going to allow you to move into my house anyways.
Why not?
Why would I? Did you really expect me to let you stay in my own house after everything you've done to me?
You gotta be kidding me. But all of the choices that I made were made given that I'd be able to live in that house. It was the biggest integer in my equation to a dream life.
And why should I care? If you want to live in my house, then I'm gonna need you to pay some rent. Or you can buy the whole thing off of me with one-time payment.
I need to pay you rent or buy the whole house off you.
The rent will be $5,000 a month. If you're thinking of buying, then it'll cost you about $5 million.
What? How would I be able to pay an amount like that?
But if you can't pay for it, then don't ask for it.
But
a small apartment suits the two of you better anyways. You won't be setting a single foot in my house ever again.
But my dream house, my mansion.
It's my mansion, Dan. Whatever. I hope you have a happy life together with Abby. Goodbye. Jess! It's an emergency! I just got called out by Mom and Dad. They said that they weren't going to let me live in their house if I'm going to get married with Dan. They just dumped all of my belongings out onto the lawn and told me that they're not my parents anymore. It's fine, Abby. Even if you lost your parents, you gain a great husband who's going to take care of you for the rest of your life, right? If your family throws you away, then just make a new family. Ugh! You're not helping! All I did was pursue my own feelings. And that's all he did too. But Mom and Dad side with you. As always, just because you're a little bit smarter than me. Why does everyone side with you instead of me? This isn't fair. This is completely fair, Abby. All I did was work hard and try to make subtle but consistent progress since I was little. And everyone knows that I earned everything that I have right now. That's why they side with me. I'm not like you, who never worked hard for anything and kept putting off your responsibilities. We each had a fair chance at life, and I made the most of it. You dove for expedient pleasure every time it was offered, and this is where it got you. When did I ever not work hard? For starters, you never did your homework or studied simply because you didn't want to. Whenever our parents try to find your passion for you, like that soccer club or the spelling bee, you just whine about not wanting to be there and slack off.
They tried to get you to learn how to play the piano, but you threw a tantrum and ripped up the music sheets and ran off. Anytime our parents would try to help you get back on your track, you would just run away from the opportunity. That's what sets us apart. I never ran away from an opportunity, no matter how intimidating it is.
What was I supposed to do? I don't want to do what I don't want to do.
You only get to use that as an excuse up until 3rd grade, Abby. But you never grew up. You never got a proper job because you were afraid of the commitment. And even for part-time jobs that don't require much commitment, you still have never kept the same job for more than a week. I'm surprised that Mom and Dad even kept dealing with your bullshit up until this point. That's just how large their hearts are. But you still manage to fail them. Take initiative, Abby. Take initiative for once in your life.
Ugh, stop telling me everything I already know. You'd never understand how someone who can't carry out life with ease like you can.
Don't tell me that you can't when you've never tried for a single time in your life. And you know what? You'd never understand how I have to feel either. How it feels to have your fiancé taken away from your own little sister. Do you think you have it difficult compared to me?
Do you?
You know what? Maybe I should sue you too. It doesn't matter whether you're my sister or you're my family or whatever. You need to take responsibility for harming me like this.
Hold on. Please, just take a deep breath. You're really going to sue your own sister for money? Even though we're family? How could you do that to me?
How could you ruin my marriage? You know what? I have some dignity, unlike you. Get away from me, somewhere far away. If you do that, then I won't sue you.
Really? So I won't have to pay you any money?
But you need to do it right now. Leave this down. Right now.
I'll be right on it. You'll never have to see my face ever again.
Sorry about everything that's happened lately, Jess. I really do regret every single part of it from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, really? You regret doing all of this?
Yeah. I can't believe that I even had the thought of leaving you to marry your little sister. I was crazy. But I'm glad to be able to tell you that it was all a misunderstanding.
What?
I never even imagined that you were the one who built that mansion on your own. I mean, your parents seem very kind and hardworking, so I completely thought that they owned the house. I mean, they even have a daughter like your younger sister, but they still live in a house like that, so it's only natural to think that they have the financial freedom to choose to keep raising her at this age, you know? I was practically set up to believe in all of that.
I was the one who continued to raise my sister, Dan. And I paid a full fee for this house, including her portion.
I'm so sorry. All of these misunderstandings blinded me from the right choice, and they forced me to do what I did. And I even went as far as to cheat on you with your own sister. But I'm very proud to tell you that I already broke up with her. So please, give me a second chance.
What? You broke up with her? I thought she was the love of your life. What a waste.
I gave some deep thought to it, and it turned out that she wasn't the love of my life at all.
What?
I was jealous of the way you were so successful, and I wanted to feel the feeling of someone needing me unconditionally. But deep down, it was always you that I loved.
I've never heard such an unromantic confession of love, and I've never felt my heart beat so slowly than before.
Please don't say that. What do you say? Would you like to start over with me? I promise that I'll make you the happiest girl in the world. No matter how many raises you get, and no matter how successful you become. I'll never do such a thing, or feel that way. I'll cheer you on. So please, give me one last chance. Will you please marry me?
Why would I marry an idiot like you? And I'll be suing you.
What?
I promised Abby that I wouldn't sue her as long as I never see her face again. But you're a different case. I expect to never see you again. And on top of that, I'll have you pay for all the things in my life that you've taken away.
You gotta be kidding. Can you at least give me a promise to keep in exchange for not being sued too?
Alright, Then I won't sue you if you're able to buy my mansion from me.
Buy your mansion?
Yes. You can't? Alright. I guess you broke our promise then. I'll be contacting you through my lawyer in a few days. If you truly regret everything you've done, then I expect you to make the full payment.
Please, hold on, Jess. Look, can we just meet in person, talk things out? I'm sure you'll feel differently once you see my face in person.
I have no choice but to punch your face once I see it in person, so I think I'm good. Goodbye. After suing Dan in court, I was able to receive a decent amount of money for compensation fees. On top of that, we officially resolved our engagement. Since Abby promised to never show her face to me again, I have never even heard of her, and no one knows what she's doing or where she is right now. Apparently my parents know all about where she is and what she does, but they seem utterly and completely done with Abby. So it seems that they have no intention in seeing her ever again, regardless of this knowledge. My ex, Dan, had spent all of his savings to pay the court fees, so he tried to move back in with his parents, but they rejected him after hearing what he'd done to me. And I heard that none of his relatives are speaking to him ever again. Even his friends would mock him for wasting such a good opportunity, and now he lives in a small apartment, going back and forth from work and on there. I, on the other hand, have been working hard every day after all of this, because I believe that the people who work hard should be able to make the most out of life. And I have no intention in letting my crappy ex get in the way of achieving that.
Hey, you! Why didn't you just tell me that you're gonna be getting married? What's going on? You really should have told me that you were gonna be getting married before I found out on my own. How could you just hide this from me like this? I thought we were childhood friends, huh? Oh, hey Marilyn. It's been a long time, huh? Sorry that I wasn't able to message you sooner and let you know about it. But it wasn't like I was trying to keep it from you, you know? I was going to tell you. I was even getting ready to send you the wedding invitations later on, too. We were just so busy with all the preparations and whatnot. How could you invite me using a wedding invitation like that, Sharon? Come on, we're better than that. I thought we were super close friends, huh? You can't just go full lazy mode on me like that. We've grown up with each other like we were siblings, basically. You're basically a sister from another mister. I really feel like, with how close we were, it would make more sense for us to meet up and you just tell me in person about your wedding. I'm seriously sorry about that, Marilyn. I've just been incredibly busy with work and I haven't even been back to my hometown in a really long time. It's been years. You know how it is. When we get older, it starts being more difficult for us to just go home when you want. It's even harder to just meet up with your friends, you know? Oh, look at you, just blaming your work like any reasonable adult. Don't be like the rest of them, Sharon. I know you're better than that. You just wanted to hide the fact that you managed to score a really rich man, right? I know what you're thinking because we're close like that. My mom told me everything I need to know. She was happy to tell me. She said that you are engaged to a future CEO of a really huge corporation. Look at that. Moving up in the world, huh? You must be excited. He's also the only son, which means he's the first in line for taking over the company, right? I would be so excited if I were in your shoes. You're kidding. How does she already know that much about my fiancé? I don't get how word gets around that quickly. Ugh. I'm sure my mom has been talking a lot to your mom. That's probably how she found out. She's just too happy that her little daughter is finally going to be getting married. She won't shut up. She must be running around telling other people about our business. Ugh, I didn't give her permission. You can't just do me dirty like that, Sharon. I want to get married too, and especially to someone who's rich. You know how long it's been since I've even gone on a date? I want to find my own heir that's going to be taking me out to French places every night. You know, it's basically my childhood dream to marry someone rich so I don't have to work, right? I mean, I don't know what you expect me to do with that information. But you're really cute and bubbly, so I really don't think there's going to be any issues finding the Mr. Perfect, right? I think you're looking too hard. That Mr. Perfect will be right around the corner and you'll run into him when you least expect it. Wait, you really think so? You were always the neighborhood idol. Everybody loved how cute you were and all the neighbors would just constantly talk about how you were the cutest thing around. I remember when we were in high school, there were all the boys who just kept talking to me and they only had one reason they would talk to me. It was because they knew that we had grown up together and if they got close to me, they would probably find a way to get closer to you. That's how popular you were. Someone who's that popular will be able to find someone to marry really quick. Just gotta try a little. Okay, I have a good idea then, Sharon. Why don't you just give me your fiancé, huh? That's a great idea. Then I don't have to worry about trying to go find someone who's willing to marry me, and I also get to get married to someone who's gonna be rich like I've always wanted. Wait, what? Oh, come on, Sharon, don't be stingy. Share a little. I want to marry your fiancé. You have to let me steal your fiancé from you, okay? Because it's meant to be. You've always been so incredibly kind to me, Sharon. It's really unbelievable how kind you've been towards me. You won't have any issues handing over the love of your life to me, right? What the hell are you talking about, Marilyn? Are you okay? There's no way in hell that I'm gonna do that. It's not like he's just a trading card or something either. What? Come on. You said that I would be able to find Mr. Perfect right around the corner, right? Those were your words, not mine. You said that I could marry really quick. It wouldn't take me long if I just tried a little. Well, I tried a little and came to the conclusion that I want to marry your fiancé, okay? That's what I want. Share it to your adorable younger sister. Come on, you know you want to. Don't be stingy. That's not what I meant by you'll find someone if you just try a little. You completely misunderstood what I said. You really need to calm down and stop talking like a crazy person, Marilyn. You're starting to scare me, just a little bit, so go for a run or something. Sharon, you're so stingy. Why wouldn't you share? You used to always just share everything with me, give me things that I wanted, no matter what. There's not a chance in hell that I would possibly give you any human, let alone my own fiancé. No, I don't like this at all. Marilyn wants to get married too, and she wants to get married to someone who's incredibly rich. If you don't share your super rich, awesome fiancé with me, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm going to be so upset that I'm going to actually start to cry. I'm going to be crying so much that you're going to be in so much trouble, Sharon. You're going to really regret the fact that you didn't share your fiancé with me. I'm so sorry to bother you during your work hours, Terry. I just have something that I want to talk to you about. Well, actually, it's more something that I want to ask you for help about. Do you have a second to listen?
Yeah, what's up, Sharon? Oh, wait, hold on. Is there something going on about the wedding? I'm pretty sure I told them to contact me if anything was wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of related to the wedding. Well, technically, I guess it's more related to marriage. I just figured I would talk to you before it came something bigger and got out of hand, you know? I want to keep an open line of communication between us. So, you remember that I was telling you about the girl I grew up with? We were childhood friends and we went to the same school and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that girl. What was her name? Marilyn? She knows your family and everything, right? Yeah, I remember. You said something about how she's like 2 years younger than you and you two grew up together, like you two were sisters or something. I'm really looking forward to meeting her at the wedding. You know how I love meeting all the important people in your life.
Yeah, so it's funny that you bring that up because that's the girl that I want to talk to you about. I want you to be careful around her, okay? I feel like she might say something. If she does decide to reach out to you, I want you to just ignore her. Her name is Marilyn, like you said, and if she says anything at all to you, then you just ignore her and let me know. You definitely can't reply to her, and you absolutely must not meet up with her, okay? You just ignore and let me know ASAP.
Wait, what? Why can't I reply to your friend, and why would your friend be messaging me?
Well, she's really cute, and I love her to death because we grew up together and whatnot, but her personality is a little weird to put it nicely. I don't like it. She kinda wants everything that I want, and she won't let it go. Every time I bought a new toy, she wants the same new toy. She just wants what I have. This time around, when she found out that I am marrying you, she's suddenly all over it and talking about how she wants to marry you and how she wants me to give you to her.
Wait, hold on. She's saying that she wants to steal your fiancé?
Yeah, I know. I was pretty surprised too. I really wasn't expecting her to say anything like that. I was just expecting her to be really happy for my marriage or maybe be jealous of my wedding dress.
Okay, do me a favor and ignore that kind of nonsense from your brain ASAP, because there's no point in caring for people like that. I'm sure the truth of it is that she just misses you, and that is turning into somehow she wants to marry this new person. Maybe she's just confused. I'm sure she's just being emotional, no matter what it is, and she's just saying things that she doesn't really mean.
You know, I wish you were right, but I don't want you to underestimate Marilyn. Don't make that mistake. When she says that she wants something, she doesn't stop at anything until she is able to secure that thing. I don't think she's ever just given up once she set her eye on something. I've honestly been pretty annoyed and troubled by how I should handle that kind of thing from since we were young kids.
Wait, are you serious? I thought you two were close friends.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was young and got a brand new toy, she wanted it. If I got any new clothes, she wanted it. It didn't matter what it was. If I had it, she wanted the same thing, or rather, she wanted my thing. At first, I was okay with sharing, but eventually, it started getting tiring of the same thing over and over, so I just started telling her that I couldn't share. When I started turning her down, she started crying every single time I would say no and kept bothering me until I eventually would just cave because she wouldn't stop crying. I mean, she really wouldn't stop until I said okay. She even started bringing in my parents into it and making a big deal out of it. You wouldn't believe the amount of determination this little girl had towards getting the exact same doll as me.
Yeah, okay, I'm starting to see how that's a little bit scary. The fact that she wants me that badly, though, I kind of get what you're starting to say here. You're saying that she might do whatever it takes to try and get me to marry her instead of you. That's what you're worried about, right? What she might do?
Yeah, I feel like one of the things she might do just to come at you head on and try to take you away. I don't know. You can call it a hunch from all of the experience I have with her. She's honestly one of the most cutest and attractive girls that I can think of off the top of my head, you know? She's got a really pretty smile, she's skinny, she's almost like some kind of actress or something in Hollywood. When I think about how a girl that cute is going to be going for you, I'm actually pretty worried too, you know? I mean, she's probably cuter than me, so...
Don't worry about it, Sharon. You're alright. There's no chance I would ever do anything to betray you. You're the love of my life, Sharon. I'll take your warning and use it from now on. If she ever decides to try to say anything, I'll remember what you said. I'll make sure that I just ignore her, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that I don't cause you any kind of headache, okay? So don't worry about it.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. I did it! I finally did it. Your fiancé? Yeah, he's mine now. He's all mine, and there's nothing that you can do about it, Sharon. I hope you regret not sharing. Your Mr. Perfect is now Marilyn's Mr. Perfect, and that's the way it's gonna be. Marilyn is gonna be Terry's perfect little wife and stays at home with him on the weekends. Wait, what? I really can't believe that you weren't willing to trade and share your fiancé with me. You used to be so kind when you were young, and now you're just keeping it all to yourself. You ignored me when I asked for his contact info too. Seriously, what has gotten into you, Sharon? Ugh. I don't know if you were going around all your contacts and telling them that you didn't want them to talk to me about the details or what, but your mom wouldn't tell me anything either. That's why it was super difficult for Marilyn to do this, but you should know that I did it. Hang on a second, Marilyn. What are you talking about? I need you to slow down and explain to me what you're talking about. Who's yours? You said that my fiancé is yours now? Terry? What are you going on about? I'm saying that Marilyn has taken your fiancé, Sharon. In other words, I'm going to be marrying your fiancé. Do you still not understand what I'm saying? It's your fault for not telling me anything. You have no idea how difficult you made it for me to find the contact info. I had to work so hard to try to figure out how to get in touch with him. Then, Once I found his contact info, I said screw it and messaged him asking him to marry me instead of you. Then, you want to know what he said, Sharon? Terry said that he was going to marry me instead. I know, I was super excited too. Aren't you happy for me? He specifically said he didn't want you to be his wife. He wanted me, Marilyn, to be his wife. He specifically said me too. There was no beating around the bush. What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Oh, I'm saying that now I'm gonna be able to live my dreams. I'm gonna get married to a rich man. I'm going to enjoy the rich life to the fullest extent. You have no idea how much I look forward to doing this. Thank you. Wait, hang on, Marilyn. You're not answering any of my questions and you just kept moving forward. Are you saying that you're gonna marry Terry? And when you say that, are you being serious or are you just messing around with me? What kind of question is that? Of course I wouldn't say this kind of thing as some kind of joke. This is not something that I would be joking around about. I'm super serious. Just think about me and my personality when we were kids. Have I ever lied to you about me wanting something? I've always gone straight for whatever I wanted and I've never rested until I got it. And trust me, there's nothing in this world that has ever stopped me from getting what I want. I mean, yeah, I know that's how you are, but... Yeah, so you understand then, right? I need you to just give up on Terry, okay? You're done. He's mine now, and there's no turning back. Terry is already head over heels for me, and starting today, we're gonna be living together. Isn't this all so exciting? I'm so happy that this is all happening so quickly. Wait, what? You're already living together? Yeah, could you believe it? He proposed to me, and then the very next day after he proposed to me, he was talking about moving in. And before I knew it, he already bought a huge room in a skyscraper for me and gave me the keys to the home saying it was our home. Wait, what? Some kind of skyscraper? Yeah, just so you know, it's not just a super regular room that you can find in some rich people neighborhoods. It's super special. He actually bought me this super high class room that only the finest people of society are able to even qualify to purchase. The view is great and the rooms are just impeccable. There's enough room to fit 10 families in there. I'm seriously impressed by how powerful this air is. According to what he said, the rent is like $20K a month, I think. I don't remember the small details. Wow, that really is some kind of incredible room that he bought you, huh? Never would believe it. Yeah, so thank you so much, Sharon. I don't think I ever would have found this if it wasn't for you. Although we always argue about it and whatnot, you seem to always end up giving me whatever I want if I argue and fought about it enough. Thanks to you being so kind to me, though. I'm one of the happiest women alive. I don't think there are any childhood friends who are this kind and convenient in the world. I must be super blessed. What? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you wanted, I can go ahead and invite you over to the house and show you around. Would you be interested in that? I could show you around the room that I'm going to be living in, which is ironic because it was technically an apartment that you might have been living in. I mean, this apartment, all of the rooms, all of the furniture, and most importantly, all of Terry are mine now, but at the very least, I can show you the view from the rooms, right? I'm too kind to you. I feel like I should be rewarded or something. I really don't want to see that. I don't know what kind of world I would live in to see that. Anyway, Marilyn, I don't think you ever answered my question. Are you being serious when you're trying to marry my fiancé, Terry? You're not joking? I've been saying that I'm serious this whole time. What, you think I'm lying about living with him in this gigantic apartment? You'll understand when you see the apartment that this place is way too small for me to live alone. Terry and this life are all mine. The next person that's gonna be living in this apartment is me, Marilyn. Terry is right next to me and he's gonna be living with me while we spend our lives together. You do realize that the house that we live in is a regular house, right? Wait, what? Yeah, and Terry? Terry is sitting right next to me right now. We're together. What? I'm sorry, Marilyn, but Terry and I, we've already put our marriage papers in. We did it a while ago. The wedding is probably going to be a ways down the line because, you know, his household situation isn't exactly simple or easy, but it's alright. We agreed that it would be okay for us to at least put in our papers for the marriage. And yeah, you're right. He did buy a place to live, but it's definitely not in some skyscraper, and I'm pretty sure it's only got 1 floor. Sorry to break it to you. I don't like rooms in skyscrapers anymore. I'm tired of them. I prefer a regular house with no extra floors and just a giant yard. I don't want to take an elevator to my house. That's what he was saying, so he went ahead and built us a house in the middle of the city. It's pretty big, though. In the middle of the city? A giant house with a yard and everything? Right now, we're both just kind of hanging out in our bungalow while looking out over a pasture of a yard. It's actually really relaxing, hearing the birds chirp. I'm sorry, but I have to ask you one more time. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. Are you really going to marry my husband? Are you sure about that? Actually, the better question is who is right next to you right now. You said it was Terry, but it's most definitely not. Well, what do you mean? It's definitely Terry, right? The only reason that I'm with Terry right now is because I thought this was your fiancé, Terry, and I wanted to marry him, so it wouldn't make any sense for me to be with anyone else. Okay, I have a good idea. Maybe you should really recheck and check again who you're spending your time with right now. Alright, I'll see myself out right now. I don't know what to do, Sharon. I screwed up. It looks like Marilyn made a terrible, terrible mistake. This is all a huge misunderstanding. It turns out that this Terry just had the same first name and same last name and same middle name too. Wait, what? Are you serious? He says that he runs a business and he's got the exact same name as your fiancé. Literally all 3 of his names are the exact same. I don't know what's going on. I really thought that this Terry was your Terry because everything was identical. I mean, he literally runs his own company too. How was I supposed to know the difference? But apparently that was just some kind of a huge mistake, huh? I don't know what to do. Oh man, I think I remember Terry telling me something about that the other day. He said that in the States, or at least Texas, one of the most common names of business owners is Terry. That's why he works extra hard on his business cards because he doesn't want to be confused with the 5 million other Terrys who run companies in Texas. I don't believe this at all. I thought I was able to get the Terry, the one and only Terry that I wanted. But it turns out that this is just some random Terry that you aren't even engaged to. I just wanted to get married to your fiancé. What the hell, Sharon? Oh, come on, Marilyn. You don't need to get that upset about all of this. Think about it. Yeah, it's someone else, and yeah, it's not the Terry that I am engaged to, but that person is also a CEO, right? That's a fact. Doesn't that mean that you're going to be able to get rich by getting married to someone? You really don't have to worry about giving up your rich and lavish lifestyle either. It's a win-win. No, this isn't okay. It's not a win. I wanted to live a rich, lavish lifestyle, but that's not all I wanted to do. Yes, it's important. And yes, I love that I get to live a celebrity life, but that's not the key factor here. The biggest part and the most important thing about all of this is that I have to steal him from you. Don't you get it? If I don't do that, then I won't be able to feel accomplished, don't you understand? Where's the fun in that? Sense of accomplishment? Sense of fun? And you keep saying something like I'm gonna be rich and whatnot just because I got married to him, but I can't. This Terry, the one that's sitting next to me right now, is married. Do you understand what this means, Sharon? His wife is literally knocking on the door of the apartment, and we are in a serious situation. I don't know what the hell to do or how to handle all of this. Married? He's married? You've got to be kidding me, right? Your Terry has a wife? Oh my God, Marilyn. This is starting to look more and more like I was just being played with, like I was just a side chick. This apartment in a giant skyscraper? Yeah, apparently he didn't buy this room for me either. Who would have thunk, right? He's always had this room, and anytime this Terry decided to have a little fun with his newest side chick, he just lets them live here to pretend they're special. When you look around the room, you can see that there's some traces of a different woman living here. Honestly, it doesn't even take that much time to figure out. There are like 2 or 3 other makeup bags and facial packs that I've never seen before. Ah, so this is his little Playboy getaway room, huh? For all of his little playthings. Sounds like that Terry is quite the catch. And by catch, I mean you might want to go get tested. I don't know what to do, Sharon. Help me! Am I gonna be getting sued by the wife? Is that what's gonna happen next? But come on! I didn't know that Terry had a wife, so I should be safe from any of the lawsuits, right? Like, that kind of ignorance should realistically grant you immunity from being sued? Yeah. I'm sorry, Marilyn, but I'm not sure about that. You thought that the Terry was my fiancé, Terry, right? Which means that you were dating that Terry under the pretense that you were by trying to steal him from someone, right? I don't know how well your logic is going to be held up in court when you try to claim that you had no idea what you were doing and you were just trying to find true love. I don't know, Marilyn. This is all a little too complicated for me. Why don't you go talk to a lawyer and see what they say about this? Okay, great idea, Sharon. Who's going to be paying for the consultation fees for a lawyer? You realize how rude and terrible this Terry is? He said that I was just a side chick and that his real main chick is his wife. Can you believe the audacity of this guy? That's why he said that he's not going to help me out at all with any kind of legal fees or anything. He says that I'm used up and that he has no use for me, so I need to leave by tomorrow. He just threw me away like I was just garbage that he didn't need. What the hell? Yeah, it sounds like that Terry is pretty shitty, unlike my husband Terry. My Terry is actually incredibly nice and loves me and takes care of me. Please, I'm begging you, Sharon. I need you to save me and get me out of this mess. You got married to the heir of the huge corporation, right? That means that you have more than enough money to go around. At the very least, you can help me out with the legal fees that I'm gonna have to pay for this, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, Marilyn, but you're insane if you think that I'm gonna be paying anything for you. Anyway, good luck with everything going forward. I'll talk to you another day, maybe.
Hey Sharon, do you have a sec? I think I figured it out. I'm like 99% sure I know which Terry Marilyn said she was dating. I don't know for sure, but it really fits the description. When you said that the guy has the exact same name, first, middle, and last, is the CEO of some kind of business and loves to fool around outside of his marriage, I just kinda knew. Apparently this Terry is pretty infamous for being a lavish and pretty unfaithful dude. And he's a CEO too. So I'm pretty sure that's not something to be happy about.
Man, there are definitely some rotten Terrys out there, huh? He's got a wife and he's still going out, finding women to sleep with him so that he has an extra room rented out just to sleep with them. Honestly, I was pretty mad about her whole attitude, but at this point, I'm feeling a bit bad for her.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. Even as a man, I can't really believe that someone would do that to his wife. But apparently he's not really able to be fooling around anymore. This is just a word on the street, but apparently his wife actually said that she was going to get a divorce, and he suddenly snapped out of it. The worst part of all this was he was actually married into her side of the family and took her name of the marriage. The company that Terry is running right now is actually originally his wife's parents' company to begin with. He just inherited it after he got married to her.
Wait, hold on. So the second that she divorces him, he's gonna be terminated as CEO?
Yeah, apparently he was chased out of his own home and he's just as broke as the rest of us. Probably worse, actually. So if you ever do get the chance to talk to Marilyn again, you should just talk to her and let her know about all what I just told you. She should be happy. That Terry has no money or dignity, and if she still wants to marry him right now, I'm sure he would have no issues marrying her. Although, she'll probably be richer than him.
Yeah, I guess I'll let her know if I ever see her again. This is too perfect. Sharon, please, I need your help right now. I'm being sued by that other Terry's wife. She's demanding that I pay for damages. But I don't have any money at all. I definitely don't have any money to hire a lawyer for any kind of trial. I'm just going to lose and end up having to pay her a prosperous amount of money in damages. I don't want to just shut up and bend over for this lady. I don't want to pay for any kind of damages without a fight. Oh, perfect timing, Marilyn. I was really hoping that you would text me soon. You're gonna struggle a little bit with the damages and being sued or whatever, but I have good news for you. You remember your Terry, right? The guy you wanted to marry, but he was just playing around with you so you couldn't marry him? Well, apparently, he got a divorce. So if you're still interested, you can marry him. Good one, Sharon. Who the hell wants to marry some guy with literally no money and lies through his teeth? I want to get married to some serious money, do you understand? The perfect scenario for me is to get married to your man. Hopefully he's rich too. If you want to keep being stupid like that, then you need to get your Terry to agree to divorce you and come marry me. That's what you should be doing right now. Oh my god, you're still going on about that, huh? Even after all of this, you haven't learned your lesson. What? You always gave me stuff when I asked for it. You always ended up caving in the end. But then, you have yourself an heir to the throne and you want to keep him all to yourself? Gross! We grew up together like we were basically sisters. I remember when you were still 7 years old and picked your nose. You need to do the same thing that you did when you were that old and just share everything the second I ask for it.
Hey, can you go ahead and do me a favor and stop trying to take advantage of her kindness like that? You really need to cut that shit out. In fact, I would really appreciate it if you just cut all ties with her. Don't ever talk to her again. Would you be able to do that for me?
What? Who is this?
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm the real husband of your best friend. It sounds like you've been doing your best to give Sharon a headache because you keep saying that you want to get married to me. Something about you want her things?
Oh my god, no way! You're serious? The real thing? I want you to get married to me right now.
Yeah, there's no chance in hell I would ever marry someone like you. You've always bothered Sharon like that, always taking her things away from her, always just taking advantage of her kindness. Don't worry though. I took the liberty of talking to your parents about everything this time around. They know about everything you've done. I also went ahead and took screenshots of all the conversations that you've been having with her and then printed those conversations. They have those to look at too.
What the hell did you just say?
Yeah, Sharon is a really kind woman. I've always admired her for being that kind, and it seems like she's always been that kind. You seem to have been taking advantage of that fact for the longest time from when you were young too. She's always said that if she just keeps everything to herself and gave you what you wanted, everything would be fine. Or that she couldn't do anything because your families got along with each other. Well, it turns out that she's still under the impression that she can't say anything against it. So I'm gonna handle this as her husband. I've taken control of the situation and your parents have been informed.
What the hell are you doing, Terry? Why would you do that to me? What are you gonna do when our relationship is ruined because of you, huh? We've been childhood friends since we were children, and you're ruining it. Even our parents have got along with each other from since we were super young.
Having a little bit of a hiccup in your relationship or your parents losing their jobs, which one would you rather have happen? Go ahead and take your time, I'll wait.
What?
Yeah, I really did think that the whole coincidence with the same name CEO and everything was interesting, but there's another coincidence that I want to talk about. Your parents? Yeah, they work at a small company that works in conjunction with one of my parents' companies back in my hometown. Who would have thunk, right? We live in such a small world. We're all kind of connected.
What? You're being serious?
Yeah, and that's why both of your parents were both on their knees begging me to forgive them for your stupidity and selfishness. They said they'd make sure that you were never able to see me or mine ever again, and they'd be shipping you off to the middle of nowhere, Alaska. They promised me that they would take care of it.
What? Did you just say Alaska?
Honestly, I'm really glad your parents were so understanding about the whole thing, you know? It seems like they're already getting everything ready for you to move to middle of nowhere, Alaska, to go kick it with the polar bears. I'll be able to live my life comfortably with Sharon. Maybe we'll have a couple of mojitos together watching over our brand new lawn in the city.
Wait, just hang on a second. What are you talking about? Marilyn moving to the middle of nowhere, Alaska? I don't want to move. I'm not gonna do that. Do you understand? I don't want to move, so I'm not gonna.
You know, you're kind of more interesting than I thought. You really think you're in a position right now to be able to voice your opinion over what happens next?
Huh?
You know, it's really up to you if you want to dream about getting married to some kind of heir or something, but when you think about going for the biscuit, you have to think about the risks you might be taking too. What are you going to do if you ever decide to piss off the heir to a multi-trillion-dollar company, huh? Have you ever thought about that? What do you think that kind of person would be capable of doing to you?
Oh, I didn't.
You know, I've never been one to use my parents' company or my position in the company to get what I wanted. But when it comes to protecting the people I love, then the whole story changes. I will use my connections, my power, my company, my family, you name it. You know that heirs to the throne are capable of stomping you out just like you're some kind of ant, right? We don't just live in fancy apartments and sniff our own farts.
I'm sorry. Please stop. I'll move to the middle of nowhere, Alaska right away. I promise. I'm packing my things right now. So I'm begging you, please let my parents continue working at their company. They have nothing to do with any of this. Marilyn was moved to the middle of nowhere, Alaska, to live with some of her distant relatives who apparently happened to be Eskimos. Her Eskimo relatives weren't too happy. But they were okay with the fact that they would have an extra hand helping out around the dairy farm that they have. She's currently working day in and day out, covered in cow manure. She's earning her pay to make sure she can pay off the agreed upon amount for the damages that she is being sued for. Afterwards, I was able to have a wedding ceremony, and I live happily with my husband and I. It's really difficult living in a really big house because you have to clean up everything, and the yard is really huge too, so you have to take care of the lawn. You have to take care of his things too, so it's busy, but I'm gonna keep working hard to support him going forward.
James, please answer. Are our parents meeting her parents today?
Yeah, what about it?
What about it? I thought you said it was going to be next week.
Do you really think that you're in the position to be making demands?
What are you saying?
You're a middle school graduate, Sis. Stacy and I met at a higher level of education, college. So there's no way that a middle school graduate can be seen eating with us.
I don't get it. If that was the case, then you could have just told me not to come. No need to lie about the date to me. I got a text from Mom about today and was surprised, you know? I even requested time off for the meeting next week.
Saturdays are normally supposed to be days off, Sis. I guess a middle school graduate like yourself needs to work on the weekends as well to make ends meet. That sucks for you. If you went to college and got a decent job, you wouldn't have to. Just like me.
Again with this talk. You really shouldn't be looking down on people. This kind of stuff will eventually catch up to you.
Sure it will. Anyways, are we done here? We're about to start. We have no space for you, and even if you did come, we aren't going to feed you anything. Although I doubt you even know where it is.
So you're telling me that not only did you lie to me about the date, but also lied about the location?
Yeah, duh. Why would I host it at a sad place like that? This is my wedding we're talking about, Sis.
I can't believe you would do this to me.
You don't have the right to be upset over this. You're the one who thought the middle school graduate would be allowed to eat with us. Unbelievable.
School records shouldn't count. Plus, once again, I took next week off for this.
Wow, poor people don't have free time. I graduated from a good college and got a really good job, so I thankfully get the weekends off. Recently, we have had the option to work from home, and during those times, I barely work. Nobody would know anyway.
Are you taking your job for granted?
We work harder than you guys ever would. Those people who keep saying they're busy at work are the ones who can't even work properly. You of all people should know, since I've been saying it since we were younger. Anyways, you aren't allowed here, and if you manage to get here, I'll kick you out of here, so don't bother.
Fine. I'll explain to Mom about how you lied to me about the date.
You've always been a tattletale since we were younger. Do what you want. Mom will understand why I did it anyways.
She would?
I send the money every month. Not like you, who can't, since you couldn't get a decent job with your middle school diploma. I'm a businessman who makes a decent amount of money. Not having a person who can't take care of their parents at the meeting will make everything run smoother anyways.
Unable to take care of their parents?
Yeah, that's you, isn't it? A middle school graduate who can't take care of their parents. I can't believe I'm related to someone who's at such a low level in life. That has to be embarrassing for Mum and Dad as well.
Is that what they said about me? Do they truly think that?
It's what they think deep in their hearts. They failed to raise you properly, which is why the second child, me, was able to be so successful. You really are the failure of the family, sis.
That's enough. I'm busy with work to go there, and it's not like I'm allowed there anyways. So that's enough. I get it.
Poor people need to be working harder anyway. We'll be eating some delicious traditional Japanese food as we talk. Bye.
Hi, James's sister. I asked James for your contact info. I'm James's future wife, Stacy. Well, it's not a pleasure to meet you. I figured I'd still make basic introductions. Hello, Stacy. I'm James's older sister, Allie. Sorry for not being able to meet you in person. No worries. I already heard from James. He told me you're too busy with work since you're poor. It was the right choice for you not to come. What are you trying to say? Both my parents have amazing school records, which means they're a bit more picky with other people's records as well. My last boyfriend was from a lower-level college, so I wasn't allowed to marry him. Since James graduated from the same college as me, they approved. Oh, really? So, a middle school graduate coming to eat dinner with us would have turned the talk about marriage to discussions about life choices. My family really hates people with low school records. There is no way you would have been allowed at the same table as us. You, really don't hold back, do you? Well, it's true that you have a horrible school record, right? You really stopped going to school after middle school, right? Well, yes, I did stop after middle school. Even if you weren't a graduate from the same high-level college as us, you wouldn't have been allowed if you at least went to college. Poor James, burdened with a low-leveled human as a sister. The universe is really unfair to him. I'm not ashamed of my life choices, at all. You didn't even go to college. What are you saying? You, of all people, should be embarrassed. This is why you aren't even invited to the wedding ceremony. Not invited? I already got the invitation, though. Oh, you mean the fake one. The fake one. Don't tell me you guys sent me a fake date and location, just like the meeting. Oops, I said too much. I was supposed to keep that a secret until the end of the wedding. Pretend you didn't hear that, okay? We have no place for poor people at our wedding. Poor people? Can't you overlook my status for this? I'm his sister. So? Just because you're his sister doesn't mean I'll allow a poor person to attend my wedding. I refuse to even breathe the same air as you. Don't come to our wedding. Thanks. Just because of my social class. A poor person like you wouldn't even be able to give us money to congratulate us anyway, right? I'm granting you mercy from the embarrassment here. Not being able to gift someone at their wedding would be embarrassing, so to save you from that, you won't be invited. I am not as poor as you think, so your mercy is not needed. I'm not as poor as you think, she says. You really have some nerve to say that. You don't even have a proper job. Or is it that you somehow managed to get a job at some huge company? Sure, I'm not an office employee. The lowest people are allowed to give us a gift of $500. Your parents are bringing us $1,000. We're practically set from just the money everyone is bringing us. The money that everyone brings will be enough to pay for a perfect honeymoon. So you guys are gonna use up all the money people give you for your marriage on things like that? Well, yeah. We are going to be spending a lot of money together. Unlike you, I studied other languages, so I want to go on many trips abroad. For example, recently I had a random craving for some spicy food, so James and I went on a trip to Korea for the day. So you guys have no thoughts about saving money? We're buying memories and experiences with money. We need to try a lot of different things in life. That's how smart people spend their money. I doubt you'd understand that, though. I get what you're trying to say, Stacy. Well, then I'm glad we've come to an understanding. My parents are telling me to go to the wedding, but seeing as how that's not permitted by you, I'll talk to them about it. Oh, really? Well, if you can bring $3,000, then we can at least feed you. I don't want you celebrating anything for me, so don't expect much else. You don't have to come, but just keep that offer in mind. Goodbye. I don't know how in the world you figured out the time and place of the wedding, but I won't allow you to ruin my wedding with your presence. I am attending the wedding as the sister of the groom, that's it. Although I didn't expect you to kick me out like that. Of course I would! I told you that poor people are not allowed here. Somebody who can't afford to pay at least $500 isn't allowed here. Let me dumb down my words for you. A girl who only graduated from middle school has no place from my wedding. Okay, so then you don't want the $1,000 then? What? $1,000? I had $1,000 prepared for my brother's wedding, but seeing as I got kicked out, I can't hand that money over. Stop bluffing. There is no way that someone who didn't even go to high school could prepare $1,000. The ones who are giving us $1,000 are your parents. I was the one who was going to hand them the $1,000 to give you guys. What? Handed them the money? Let me dumb it down for you. The money that my parents promised to bring you guys was coming from me. It's my money. What are you talking about? As I said before, the money they were going to give you was coming from me, who wanted to give you guys $1,000 as a congratulations. But you're poor! There is no way you're able to do that. I'm not a normal office employee, but I do manage a company, so I'm not poor. You're a manager. The company isn't going broke anytime soon, and we aren't in debt. My yearly salary is about $300,000. Not trying to brag, but I do live a rather comfy life. I have never heard of such things before. I was surprised when my parents told me where you guys hosted the meeting. I often use that place for my lunch. Often use it for lunch? Wait, but that place is crazy expensive. You also said trips abroad, right? That you studied languages? Buying experience must be nice. I have villas in Australia, Berlin, and Spain, so if you guys are in the area, let me know. I can tell you guys the spots I recommend. Villas? Wait, you have to be lying, right? James never heard of this stuff. My brother seems to have no interest in my life to bother asking. He doesn't know, and I haven't told him. Wait, so you are rich, even with just a middle school diploma? You're really the manager of a company. I can confidently say that I make more than James does, but it seems like I wasn't welcomed here. I'm not even seen as a sibling to him. I think it's best if we don't interact with each other from now on. Congrats on the wedding. I hope you guys are forever happy together. Wait! Please wait! I didn't know anything. The $1,000 coming from you or how much of a wonderful person you really are. Please come back to the venue. I thought your parents didn't like people with bad school records. I can't sour the happiness you guys have with my presence. No, you wouldn't. They won't know of your school records if nobody says anything. Let's get along from now on, okay? I've always wanted to go to Berlin. Don't force yourself to be nice to me. I have no intentions of interacting with you guys. What? Why? Why? Well, that's because you kicked me out of the wedding venue. You didn't really have any positive thoughts about me, and then have the nerve to ask to get along with me? That's not something I can do, even on my level of patience. That's because the information given about you is wrong. The situation has changed now. So you've changed your mind about me after figuring out what I do for a living. You're turning the other cheek over my financial status. It may seem like that, but that's the only way I can see it. I've always wanted an older sister. I doubt you and I would get along well. This also applies to James and I. With that, I'll be taking my leave now. Please, wait! Ellie! Please!
Why did you leave? If you have money, then you should have said so. What's up with the whole manager thing anyways?
What's up is that it's my job.
How come I've never heard about it?
You had no interest in my life. Mom and Dad know about it, though.
That's so unfair. Anyways, the $1,000.
The money was a gift based on my feelings toward you guys. But seeing as how I've been treated, you guys don't deserve it.
Mum and Dad were going to give it to us.
Yeah, but it's my money. I had wanted to give you the money myself, considering it was my brother's wedding, but giving more money than our parents felt rather rude, so I asked them to give it to you guys in my place.
If you want to give us that money, we'll gladly take it, so come back with it.
I said I don't want to anymore. This money will be used for Mom and Dad to celebrate their 35th anniversary instead. I'll pay for a trip somewhere.
Our money.
By the way, didn't you say that you send Mom and Dad money every month?
Yeah?
I asked them about it, and they told me that you give them about $50 a month, and spend more money than what you give them food and drinks. You even have to pay for your gasoline.
Seeing their child's face should be enough.
Don't you feel ashamed saying all that stuff to me when you only give them $50?
I'm not taking this from somebody who doesn't send a single cent.
I may not be sending them money every month, but I've paid for the house renovations and the new cars they got.
What? You said you've been paying for what?
In total, I've spent over $100,000 for them.
You're kidding, right?
Anyways, I've decided not to involve myself with you guys. Isn't that what you guys wanted as well?
I get it. I apologize.
You apologize?
So please come back to the venue now. If you don't, we'll be in serious trouble.
What?
The guests, who were our relatives, who saw you get kicked out by Stacy, all took their money and left. They were upset over the fact that somebody who wanted to congratulate us was getting kicked out and accused us of picking who can congratulate us.
Glad they could realize what was wrong.
Without the money from the guests, we're in trouble. Especially the $1,000 that Mum and Dad was supposed to hand us. We need the money.
You guys don't save money either.
Oh, if you understand, then hurry up and bring us the money. Convince our family to come back as well, please.
I refuse. I went out of the way to make room in my busy schedule for the wedding, only to get kicked out. I'm not in the most friendly of moods. I don't want to associate myself with you guys, which I think is what's for the best for all of us. So with that, I would like to say goodbye.
It wouldn't benefit us all. My boss is getting all annoyed over everything. Mum and Dad are trying to leave. A wedding without relatives, let alone parents being there, is nothing but embarrassing.
This is all your fault.
Stacy was the one who kicked you out.
And if you didn't try to stop her, I saw you smirking behind her as she was kicking me out.
That's...
I don't associate myself with you guys, so go ahead and enjoy a wonderful life together.
Wait, I didn't know you were so successful.
That may be true, but you still look down on me for my school records. That doesn't excuse all those words and actions you've done towards me. Maybe you should reflect on your actions. What's happening right now is all due to you and Stacy's actions.
Oh, I'm begging you, sis. Please, come back to the venue. Sis. Oh, I didn't know things would turn out this way.
I've heard that relatives of both sides left the wedding afterwards. The wedding was a complete bust. Also, after seeing that mess of a wedding, James's boss found him to be suspicious, and after looking into it, discovered that he was slacking off during the times he was working from home. He apparently feels suffocated at work with how much they watch over him. With the wedding a complete bust, they couldn't pay for the venue with the money they were supposed to receive. They threw around the word poor at me a lot, but in the end actually became poor themselves.
Hey Donna, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to move in with you from today. So thanks for letting us into your home. I am just finishing up with packing up our stuff and then I'm going to head over.
Wait, what? What are you talking about, Sandra? You're going to come and live with us? I never remember hearing about any of this before. When was this decided?
Well, I just really miss my brother, and so that's why I'm going to be moving in with you. I mean, I just can't do anything around the house without him, and it's been so lonely since he moved out. I just really want to be around you all. So that's why I am moving out of my parents' place and going to come and live with you.
Sorry, you want to move into our house because you miss your brother? Is that really it?
Yeah, that's right. You see, the thing is that Oral has been doing things for me ever since we were little kids. Like, if I told him that I was hungry, he would always cook something for me, and if there was a bug in my room, he would always come and kill it for me. But ever since Oral married you, he's hardly ever come home at all, and I just knew that the only way I could be close to him was by moving out of home. I guess I just really can't live without my big brother.
Sarah, I'm really sorry to break this to you, but Oral and I agreed that when we got married, we would want it to be just us, so I don't think that you can just move in with your family.
No, that isn't fair. You can't just do that to me. He's still my older brother, and you can't take him away from me. I want him to take care of me, and I always get what I want.
Are you okay? Is this normally how you react to things with your brother?
Please, you don't understand. I can hardly take care of myself. I don't know how to cook or clean or anything like that, and Mom and Dad are even worse at it than I am. They are always being jerks and telling me that I need to learn how to cook for myself and keep my space clean, but it's not my fault that I used to always be able to go and ask Oral for help when I was little. I mean, my parents don't even cook for me anymore. Do you get that? And I don't know how to cook anything for myself. I need my brother.
Okay, I get that. It can be tough to take care of yourself sometimes, but you're an adult, Sandra. I'm sorry, but it doesn't sound at all like your parents are being unreasonable to me. And just because you choose to live with them even after getting married doesn't mean that you can expect them to do everything for you.
But it was always my brother who was doing stuff for me. All I ever had to do was just ask him, and whatever it was, he would make sure that it got done for me. Now I just have my mean old parents never doing anything for me. That's why I want to go and live with my brother, got it? I mean, it's just one more person in your house. Surely you can't be that upset about just one more person living with you guys, right?
Sandra, I am really sorry, but I've already made myself clear. The fact is that you can't come and live with us, okay?
But why not? Seriously, tell me what is so bad about just one more person coming to live with you? Are you really so selfish that you can't even abide by that? The only reason I want to move in with you guys in the first place is just so that my older brother can take care of me. I promise that I won't get in your way at all.
I'm sorry, but I've already given you my answer and it is final. Look, the truth is that I'm pregnant right now. So I just don't think we could really handle having someone else in the house with all that's already going on.
Wait, you're pregnant? Since when? I had no idea about that. You mean that I'm going to be an aunt? That is so exciting!
Well, we just found out. I wanted to make the announcement after some more time had passed so that I could be sure the pregnancy would keep. But anyways, things are already tough enough for us, and we have a lot of preparation we need to do before the baby arrives. So again, I'm really sorry, but you just won't be able to live with us, and that's that.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. This works out even better. Don't you get it? I mean, if you're pregnant and struggling, then that is all the more reason for me to go and live with you guys. And just how do you figure that, huh? Well, Oral is probably at work all of the time, right? So that probably means that you need an extra hand around the house to help you out during the day, yeah? I also don't have a job or anything like that, so I could just help you with whatever you needed. Wait a second, you don't have a job? What happened? Last I heard you did have one. Did you quit? Well, after Oral moved out, I didn't have anyone to complain to all about my work. No matter who I tried to talk to, nobody was interested in hearing it. I tried really hard to keep working, but there was nobody to listen to me complain, so the stress just kept building and building until I couldn't take it anymore. And in the end, I had had enough and I decided to quit my job. So you really just quit your job because you didn't have anyone to complain to about it? Please tell me that's some kind of a joke. Nope, it's the truth. But on the plus side, it means that I can stay at home all day and help you out. I mean, I'm sure there are days when you don't feel good while you're pregnant, right? Well, you can just think of me as your live-in nurse, huh? And then I can help take care of you and my little niece or nephew when they're born.
Donna, are you there? I just heard the news from my sister about how she wants to come and live with us. I know that she was really missing having me at home, but I didn't think that she would go and do something like this.
I mean, I know that you told me about how much she likes you and how close you were when you were kids, but this is just taking it too far. You must have been really, really sweet to her when she was little, Oral. But now that you did that, she just runs wild, doing whatever she wants.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just trying to be a good older brother to her, but I guess it ended up backfiring. Now she's just a spoiled little girl who doesn't want to learn how to take care of herself. Then again, maybe that's something that hasn't changed all that much.
What do you mean by that, Oral?
I mean that I think that Sandra has honestly been a pretty selfish person ever since she was little. Whenever things didn't go her way, she would always burst into tears. She wouldn't stop crying until she got what she wanted. But my parents were also so stubborn about not giving in that every day was just such a mess in the house. Honestly, I probably did things for Sandra just because I wanted everyone in the house to stop fighting.
I see. I had no idea that things were that bad in the house when you were growing up, Oral. It must have been tough trying to play the peacemaker like you did at such a young age. Sandra told me about how you would cook for her when she was hungry and kill bugs for her when they were in her room. It sounds like you did so much just to keep things running smoothly in the house.
I know, but it wasn't just for my family, you know? It was just as much for my own sake, so I didn't go crazy. But there were other motives as well. You know how I got hired as head chef at that restaurant recently? Well, I used Sandra to test out a bunch of recipes that I was working on. And I killed the bugs in her room because I didn't want them showing up in mine later on. That's why I even kept her room clean for her.
I see. Well, I guess that all makes sense. But still, it can't have been easy on you.
It wasn't, but it is true that I did whatever my sister asked of me. Although, if I'm being honest, it always shocked me at how selfish she was. And I think over time I grew to really resent that she never really realized just how much I was doing for her. I thought that when you and I got married that I was finally going to be free of her.
Well, if it's any consolation, I tried to tell her that we just wouldn't be able to take her in and let her live with us. I told her about the pregnancy and everything, but she just wouldn't listen to me.
Well, I think that if she sees what it's like to live with us, then she'll go running back to Mom and Dad. I'll even call them and tell them that this won't last long, and to keep her room as is.
Well, okay, if you're sure about this. I guess having her here for a few days wouldn't be the worst thing. Donna, what is the matter with you? Are you seriously going back to your parents' house? What for? I don't understand it. If you're going to be over there, then how am I supposed to see what my little niece or nephew is going to look like when they're born? I want to be there when all of that happens. Well, I don't want any of that, and that's why I'm going back to stay with my parents for the time being. I was never going to do this originally, but I just can't stand being around you anymore. So you're saying that this is all my fault? Don't be ridiculous. Just what is wrong with me wanting to be a good aunt and be there for you, my sister-in-law, on the day that you give birth? Because that's just it. You're my sister-in-law and nothing else. This is going to be a big emotional day for me, and I would rather be with my parents than around you for it. You know that Oral and I told you that you would only be allowed to stay with us for a week, right? Well, it's been 2 months and you're still in our house just being a freeloader. I have been so stressed out during that time that I just don't think I'll even be able to have this baby with you around. But I'm not even doing anything. How can you be so cruel to me for just wanting to be there for you? It's not like I'm partying all night or blasting loud music or anything. I have to get up several times in the middle of the night and I hardly feel like I get any sleep at all. But at all hours of the night, I can hear you walking around the house and making all kind of racket, even if it's not loud music. I can hear the noise from whatever video games it is that you're playing coming from your room at almost all hours of the day. Even during the daytime, I can hardly ever get a moment to rest. If your hearing is really that sensitive, then maybe you should just walk around the house with earplugs. You're really telling me that I should have to walk around my own home with earplugs so that you can play your games? You're the guest here. You should be mindful of your host's needs after being here for so long. I mean, all you do is play games and eat. You never do anything to help out around the house at all. All of that sounds like your problem if you ask me. Besides, all you do is lie around the house too. You really think that just because you're pregnant, you can be resting all day like that? That really can't be good for the baby, you know. That's why I leave all the work for you to do, so it'll motivate you to move around more. Are you kidding me? Do you think this is some sort of game or something? Of course not. I'm just trying to get the mother of my niece or nephew off of her butt and moving around. Before I came here, you were probably just making my brother do all of your work for you, weren't you? You keep trying to act like I'm the selfish one, but you're the one who needs to keep relying on others for help. All I'm doing is keeping you on your feet and making sure that you don't fall out of practice when it comes to being a good housewife. Oh, you have got to be kidding me with that, right? You really think I'm going to buy any of that? If you think you're stressed, then I'm really, really stressed. And instead of dealing with the problem, you're just running away to your parents' house so that you don't have to clean the house. Well, if you're leaving, then I guess that means I'll just be taking my brother back then. I've already canceled the lease on your place, and I'll be taking my brother and moving back home with him. Wait, what? What do you mean you canceled the lease on our place? You can't be mad at me. Even Oral said that he was fine with this. He said that you weren't good enough to be his wife and that he doesn't want to be married to you anymore. He told me that he was just using you to have a kid and that's it. But now that you're about to have the kid, that means it's time to get rid of this house and for Oral and I to live together forever. And do you really expect me to believe that Oral just went along and agreed to all of this? Of course he did. I told you that my brother would do anything for me, didn't I? Well, here's just another example. You must have just had no idea that he was so stressed out living with you, huh? But he was happy to hear that you were finally going to leave us alone. I don't believe you. I don't think that Oral would ever do something like that. Well, he did, and now I'm taking this chance to take my brother back from you. You were so spoiled that you couldn't see that you were driving everyone away from you this whole time. Right. Well, good luck with that. Have a nice life, Sandra. That's what I meant to say to you, loser. You don't even have a home to go back to, and the moment that you have your kid, you are going to be getting divorce papers in the mail from Oral. So just go ahead and sign them and let him and I live in peace already, okay? We don't want you in our lives anymore. No, I'm afraid that it's you who is going to be living alone, Sandra. Or at the very least with your parents. What are you talking about? You have no idea what you're saying. I've won. I'm going to get Oral, not you. Why are you even mentioning my parents in this conversation? I guess you'll find out what I'm talking about soon enough. Good luck with everything. Hey, just what the heck is going on here, huh? Why am I getting taken here? Do you seriously expect me to live here from here on out? You mean you've already arrived? Wow, that was really fast. I guess that Oral must have gotten off work early just to get rid of you then. What are you talking about? Oral told me that he was going to take us to our new home. He said it'd be for him and I. I packed up my bags, threw them in the car, and we drove off. And now I see that he's just taken me to the lodge that our relatives run out in the boonies. He even told me I was going to be living and working here. Aw, did he say that? Well, I guess it sounds to me like you've been tricked. We tried to ask you to leave our house over and over again, but you just wouldn't listen. You have no one to blame but yourself for this. What are you talking about? I still have no idea what's really going on here. You better explain to me what is going on right now. Am I seriously supposed to work here? Oral told me that as soon as I stepped out of the car, and by the time I turned around to ask him what he meant, he had already driven off. You need to tell me what is going on right now. Okay, just calm down, Sandra. It really is quite simple. The fact is that Oral and I are both sick of having you live with us. So we came up with a plan that we were sure would trick you into leaving our home. Wait, so Oral lied to me? That's right. We tried to get you to move out over and over again, but nothing seemed to work. And because you weren't doing anything to help around the house at all, we knew that we had to do something. I was just getting so stressed out and was really starting to reach my limit with you. So Oral told me to go to my parents' house while he took care of you. But wait, I thought that Oral and I were the ones that had chased you out of the house. Oral and I were supposed to finally live together again. You really thought that was going to happen? But Oral always does what I say, and he knows that he can never say no to me. I always get my way. How could he trick me like this? It isn't fair. I hate this. Well, I'm afraid that your brother has been fed up with your antics for some time now. What do you mean? My brother loves doing things for me. That's why I always gave him a bunch to do. Well, if that were the case, then why did your brother lie to you and drive you out to that lodge then? It sounds to me like you got tricked and you just haven't faced up to reality yet. No, this can't be happening to me. My brother wouldn't do this to me. He wanted to live with me too. He's always taken care of me, and I was sure that that was what was going on now. You still just don't get it, do you? All your selfish actions over the years just drove him to hate you. Ever since he was little, you've been making him run around and do everything for you just so that you wouldn't throw a tantrum. And even when you grew up, you still just never learned to take care of yourself or be grateful to those doing things for you. You took advantage of your brother's kindness and never once thanked him for it. No, this can't be happening. I know that my brother loves me. You think you were getting your brother to love you more by constantly making him do everything for you? You think he enjoyed doing all the cooking and bug killing and room cleaning for you because you were too much of a spoiled brat to do it yourself? I never thought about it like that at all. It's clear to me that you probably never thought about anyone but yourself this entire time. You've been nothing but a burden on your whole family because you think the world owes you everything. All while you do nothing at all to pay back or show gratitude to those around you. But I just wanted to live with my older brother. This isn't fair. You both can't do this to me. I didn't do anything to deserve this. If you really feel that way, then I think working at that lodge your relatives own is going to be a good experience for you. Maybe you'll finally learn what it means to earn your own way through this world and what it's like to do things for others for once. This isn't a good thing. I don't want to learn any of that. I just wanted my brother to do everything for me. Besides, my aunt who runs this place is really strict. She'll work me to the bone. I seriously doubt that. It sounds to me like you're just scared to do a decent day's work is all. So you're really just going to leave me here? What am I supposed to do? How do I leave? I don't want to do this. If you don't want to do this, you can always just walk home, but you'll still have to figure out where you'll go after that. Neither your parents, nor Oral, or I want you living with us. But you can't do this to me, please! I didn't want things to go this way. They were supposed to go my way like they always have. You can't do this to me. A few months later, Sandra's parents actually went up to the lodge for a vacation and to catch up with their relatives up there. Sandra was sure that they had come to take her back, and she greeted them with her packed bags. But her parents told her that they had just come to see if she had done any growing up at all in the time since she began her new job. They quickly learned that Sandra was not adjusting well and ended their stay early to go home without her. They even sold their house and moved out to the country so that not even Sandra could find them.